Hello, everyone. It's Netty, and we have Dino over there with and he is playing some Mario Kart over here. I don't know if you guys can see because in here our lighting is a little off. So anyway, little Dean is attempting to play Mario Kart. On other hands, we're gonna turn this to Netty. Anyway, what I'm about to do is I'm gonna attempt to make some chicken and shrimp fried rice, and I'm gonna make it from scratch, and I want you all to come with me and see how I make it. As you all know, I'm a Southern girl, and I'm used to cooking Southern style, but I do often cook a little bit of Italian, Spanish, soul food, and a little bit of per se, I would say Mexican, but I just want to take you on an adventure with me on, so you guys can see how we do when we cook. Okay? So, I'm going to take you guys on a little windshaw. There is Gabby. Hi, Gabby. Hello, Gabby Rabbit. Here's Gabby. But, I don't mind our little bend there. If you guys have been following me, haven't been on in a while, had a couple of things going on. But if you've been following me, you know that we just recently moved, and we're still getting things together here. But I'm going to take you into my kitchen. It's not that big, please don't judge me. It is clean. A couple of little plates and things, but that's because we were preparing. Meaning started. Got the things washed. There's the shrimp, which got washed and peeled and deveined cleanly. If you see, it looks okay for now. But we have the white rice. White rice is already cleaned. So what I do is put the rice in a pot and rinse it really well to get the starch out. Because if a lot of people notice when you make rice, it may come out really sticky, starchy, and not very well. So that's because you need to rinse out the starches that are in the rice so that they don't stick. Some people like it to stick, and so then you can rinse it a little less, but you do want to take at least some of the starch out of the rice. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do my rice in a minute. Here is our boneless chicken cubes. They are pre-sliced and cleaned, as you can see. I'm going to show you guys me seasoning as well. What I'm going to do, you guys can see. So, give me a minute, please. I gotta figure out how to set my camera up where my good people can see what I'm doing here. So, just bear with me for a second. I'm going to go back in here with little Dean real quick. Big Dean. Big Dean. I might need help. There's Big Dean. I'm always bothering him. But, I don't have to see Dino's game a little better. See in a loving place, you know, don't rush him. Let's see if Big Dean will hold the camera for me, or either help me hold it. So, now I'm going to wash my hands. And this will be pretty quick, being that everything is pre-washed and cleaned already. Should be a pretty quick process. Put these little bit of things aside. So I'm going to put this here, the chicken there. I'm going to put the rice here. So I'm going to start with showing you guys how I do my rice. Again, we already washed the rice. So what I do is you add water to your rice, and I pretty much add hot water to my rice. I'm going to turn the stove on here. Get this shit popping up in here. Now I'm going to pour some water on my rice. So what I do is, come a little bit closer, pour rice in around the pot. You want to cover the rice. And a magic trick that I was taught from my grandmother is to stick your finger in where the tip of your finger touches the top of the rice. Then you pour your water until it gets to the first line. I'm not quite there, so I will need a little bit more water. Okay, now I'm at about the first line on my finger. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of salt to the water. If everybody knows, rice again is very starchy. You put water in there after you rinse it. You drop maybe about a teaspoon or so of salt. That's so it can help your rice with a little bit of the taste. Okay, we're going to work on the front eye here. So we're going to keep the rice on per se. I have an electric oven, so I'm going to put it on between 6 and 7. And I'm going to turn my fan on a little bit here because my eye's smoking up a little bit. Shouldn't be no big problem. Or we're going to move it to the back. Okay, we're going to move it to the back eye.
You take a stick, please.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let Big D take over.
Just let it heat up and burn off.
Let it heat up and burn off.
You got your car, okay?
So, we'll attempt to work together here. So, okay. Now, being that I put a little teaspoon or 2 of salt in, I'm going to get a mixing spoon.
What happens if you really shake the camera?
Huh?
You really shake the camera.
Oh, because it's not stuck there. So, I'm going to mix this just a little bit. I don't stir my rice too much after it's started. So, I'm mixing a little bit only because I put the salt in and I want to get an even flow throughout the pot. Now, I'm going to work on the chicken. I'm going to turn my pot on to about 6 on my electric stove. Because we want to bring that to a little sear. I need to get the butter out the refrigerator. So I'm using butter, not margarine, butter. It gives you a better flavor in your food. I'm working on the camera by myself right now, so I'm going to turn this chicken down until I get my ingredients in the pot. Yeah, I was tempting to do it on a selfie stick so we can get close-up pictures, but looks like Big Dean is going to get the tripod out, and then I will continue with this meal. Give us a minute. As you guys can see, the rice is cooking up slowly. And I'm going to work on the chicken and shrimp now. So, I'm going to get a fork. Turn my chicken back up. It's cooking up slowly, so what I'm going to do is add this butter in. Let me add like a teaspoon or 2 or 3, mainly because I'm going to add in my shrimp to the chicken. And that shrimp doesn't take as long to cook. I'm going to start cooking the chicken first. Okay, as you can see, I put a little bit of butter in the pot with the chicken. Okay, and I'm going to start to drop a little seasoning in. I use a little tiny bit of salt, a couple of sprinkles. A little bit of my accent, just for a little bit of flavor. Maybe a teaspoon or so. A little bit of floury seasoning salt, one of my faves when cooking. Another teaspoon or so. And might look like I'm putting a lot in, but I am going to add my shrimp in and prepare this dish off of what I'm adding garlic powder. I'm adding a little bit of adobo, just to add flavor, and a little bit of tenderizer, which is a Spanish seasoning that we love here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of onion powder, because if you see, I'm not going to cook with onions today. This is a quick, maybe 10-15 minute meal. And the only thing I'm missing now, and I'm going to get it, is my black pepper. Okay, so I'm going to drop a little bit of black pepper to that. So now my chicken is sauteing up. Well, you see, it's starting to change a little color there. As it starts to cook, you see it will turn a little white to show you that it's cooking. Oh. I'm going to allow that to cook up for a couple of minutes in the pot so it can get the flavor in. Cooking up slowly. Rice a little bit because I just see it's a little high, but I have to turn it down some. Back to my 7 or 8. I don't know how it got on high. Chicken's cooking up really fast, so just give me a couple of minutes. Maybe you just fast forward this through. That's what people be doing while it's cooking. Fast forward that part. And I'm just getting over the shrimp in a minute. Okay. Okay, coming back to check on the chicken, and it hasn't even been 5 minutes. As you can see, the chicken is cooking up very well. It's all colored. Nice buttery color. You guys could just smell it.
You put it down and on the light. On the eyes.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to let it simmer up a little bit more, then I will add my shrimp in. As you can see, the rice is starting to boil up. And as my rice starts to boil up, I'm going to put a lid on it so it can steam. And actually, I can put the lid on the rice now that it's boiling. And the chicken is moving along. So I can probably add the shrimp in now. Nice, pretty clean shrimp. I'm going to add them in so that they can fry up. In with the chicken. You see, the shrimp are turning pink, and because they cook pretty fast, again, but I am going to cover this so it can steam up a little more.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it on that behalf. I'm just waiting for the rice to get done. I'm waiting for the meat to finish sauteing up in the pot, and we will see the conclusion of this video in a few.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, my people. I'm back with the conclusion of my shrimp and chicken fried rice. First time making it, so you guys are making it with me. When I cut the camera off, the chicken and the rice were still cooking with lids on them, and I put them on low to simmer on about 4. So you would turn your fire down a little low and let them cook until the rice is done, and wait until the chicken is done where everything is nice and tender. So now I pulled out my new wave pot because I'm going to fry up some eggs and peas, and then I'm going to add my rice in to fry with that, and then I'll add my meat in at the end. Don't come over here whining. Don't mess up my video. Move back. Move back. Okay, well, I'm almost done, so you gotta wait. No, you can come over and help me finish cooking it. It's almost done. And say give you a shrimp. Okay, so my new wave is on, and I'm going to add butter. Of course, because I told you guys I'm about to fry some eggs. So I'm putting about a teaspoon or so of butter in to the new wave. Let me turn the camera around off of me, and I'm hoping you guys can see. But I put about a teaspoon or so in the new wave, and as you can see, it's already heating up because the new wave heats up very fast. It actually cooks everything fast. So that's why I attempted to do the fried rice on this end, because I can control my heat a little better. So as you see, I can turn it up to about, you know what, I'm just going to put it on sear for now until my pot heats up really fast. Then I can attempt to dump my sweet peas in and a couple of eggs to fry up. Okay, now I'm going to turn this back down to about 375, and the butter is frying up. If you can see, it's starting to sizzle a little bit. I'm going to put my sweet peas in to the pot to fry in some butter. So that was just a can of sweet peas, and I'm letting them nicely fry up a little bit. I'm going to switch out to a plastic spatula so I'm not scraping my pan, and I also do not want to really bust my peas open. If you don't eat peas, you can use carrots, you can use broccoli. Some people fry onion and mix it all together. You can have peas, carrots, onions. I've had it with a little bit of everything in there. I'm going to turn this up to 425 now because I want it to cook a little faster so that when I put the eggs in, it can fry at a nice temperature or pace, if that's what I'm wanting the effects to come out to be. So, they smell really good. Just from the butter. I haven't even added anything in. And I really ain't because I'm not. Because I added a good amount of seasoning to the meat. So that's where I'm going to get a good amount of my flavor from. I'm going to add about 2 eggs in. And that's if you like eggs in your fried rice. A lot of people choose not to have the extras in there. But, you know, we here from Philadelphia, PA, we're used to having egg in our fried rice. So, a lot of the times when I go places like Chinese restaurants and stuff like that, and there's no egg, it usually has like something missing about it. I added 2 eggs. It looks like I need to turn this down a little bit. I'm going to reduce my heat to 275. I'm going to add a little bit more butter because my butter fried out a little bit. So, and I need to add 1 more egg. I did 2 eggs, but being that my family size and because I'm used to cooking for big loads of people, I'm used to making a good amount. So, you know, depending on your family size, you can make your dishes to your satisfaction. But I'm add a little bit more egg to my peas. And if you see, the egg is cooking up well with the peas. They actually start sticking together a little bit. So my next step is I'm going to add the rice in and continue letting my rice fry up with my eggs and peas. So my egg is just about fried and almost done, and that's why I'm going to add the rice in, because I don't want you know, the egg to cook up and get too hard, because it's still going to have to fry a little bit once I add the rice in. So, good thing I reduced my heat. And I'm going to start, have my husband here. He's going to help me add the rice into my sweet peas. Thank you. Now I will attempt to start adding spoonfuls of rice in. I'm going to add a little more butter just because I do not want anything to burn. Now we'll go back to my metal spoon. As you guys can see, the rice is nice and steamed up. This is how country rice comes out pretty much. I did not stir it anymore after you guys see me put the lid on it. I just pretty much let it steam up, and it comes out to be a nice texture. Nice and fluffy. My dad would kill me if he saw me stick my spoon in the rice like this, because we don't stick spoons in our rice. after it's done until it's time to serve. Might need a little tiny bit of oil. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of oil, and if you notice, if you ever watch the Chinese people cook, they use a little bit of oil. And I'm guessing that's why now, to not get the effect that I'm getting where, you know, I'm adding the food in, and I don't want it to stick too much. So I'm just going to add a couple of little drizzles. You don't want too much, but if you notice, you know, we use a little bit of olive oil to help in cooking, to stop stuff from sticking so much to the pot. So if you guys can see here, my rice is slowly frying up. I don't want to mix it too much. I'm going to go back to my spatula in a minute. But I want to scoop some more out, so I might leave my husband some rice in here because he doesn't eat shrimp. So he may eat some rice tonight and another kind of meat. So I'm going to make sure we leave some rice on top for him as well. Okay, so they ain't say mechano, they said the ghetto. That's an old school song. Okay, so got a little rice stuck to my fingers, and I'm gonna eat it all because I don't want it on. So I'm gonna attempt to swap out to my spots, my spatula. I don't want to mush this rice up too much. Stirring it. And like I said, we won't stir the rice. So as you can see, it's blending in really good with the peas and the eggs. I will attempt to add a little bit of soy sauce in, just mainly for flavor and color, and then I will add my meat in to continue cooking up in the pot with the rice. I'm going to turn this down a little bit more. This is what I like about my new wave. It instantly goes down. So it was cooking at 275. I put it down at 250, and it instantly went down. So therefore, you can control your stuff a little better from burning with the new wave. I like it. I like the stove better because I'm old school, but you know, I bought this about a year ago, and it helps reduce some of the fat in your foods because it pulls certain things out, as well as if you, in a little bit, yes. If I'm going to hurry up here because I'm talking, but my son is ready to have his dinner. So, listen, give me hey boo, come here. Give mommy that thing up there on top of the microwave with the soy sauce in it.
Why you want to have soy sauce in it?
A little bit in there. Okay. Alright, thank you. Thank you.
Never mind. Ah! Look what you did!
I'm only going to add about 2 or 3 packets just for color again, mainly because it gets a little salty, and I will leave that up to whoever fixes their plate to add salt to their packs, to their plate, or extra packets to their plate. But I won't be doing it. I'm just adding a little color to it because I'm sure most of the time the Asians or Chinese, they use like a brown rice more so. So I'm just gonna get my little Chinese flavoring from my packets that we save when we go to the Chinese restaurant, and I'm gonna add a little bit more oil only because I have to continue frying the rice up a little bit, and it's kind of like sticking and stop frying on me, so I'm gonna have to turn it back up, and I don't want it to burn. And if you can see, because I'm adding oil, it is, you know, fluffing the rice up versus making it stick or too, you know, to the pot. It's not too stuck to the pot. At the same time, I'm not mushing up, excuse my mess there. I'm trying my best. I'm working on an extension cord because I'm at the table. People don't know, but sure, from my videos, you can see I'm a little overweight, and I have a really bad back due to an epidural that I got when I gave birth to my son, and I have a hard time standing for too long. So if you noticed, I did attempt to start cooking on my feet, and I did my best and as much as I could, and then I switched to this area. So being that the peas and the rice are just about cooked together, I want to begin to add some of my meat in with the little bit of butter it was cooked in, the sauteed butter that it was cooked in. That way it can add flavor to my rice and beans. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit before I add the meat in. I'm going to take it to about 300. And here we have my finished chicken and shrimp.
Attention passengers, a fire has broken out on board the ship. Please follow the crew's instructions and evacuate immediately. I repeat.
And like I said, I'm used to making big pots of food, and I'm making more than enough, so we definitely will have leftovers if we don't call a neighbor or two to join us or offer them a plate. We just happen to make a good amount of food when we cook. Sometimes it's more than enough, but again, this was a quick meal that I made it seem a little longer than it really could have took. But you guys got the concept. You got my seasonings. You got not my taste, but I think I will try. Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. So anyway, I'm gonna reduce my heat in a minute because it's frying up, if you can hear it sizzling. And of course, that's why we call it fried rice, but I don't want it to start sticking too much, so I have to tend to this. And you guys, please like if you like what you saw. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment below if there's a certain meal or dish that you would like for Netty or Dean to prepare for you, because you just want to learn how to cook. If you know how to cook and you want to try something different, if you think I did something wrong and you want to give me a pointer to something better, I have no problem with it. But until then, I will say I love you all, and peace to my friends. Till later.
My son. Well,